Hello there, World of Tankers. I'm Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Tiger 1 and comparing it to the Tiger P. Now, both of these vehicles were real-life historic World War II tanks, and in today's video, not only am I going to be doing a little bit of a history lesson on both of these tanks as well, I'm going to be letting you know which one I personally like better, and which one is the better tank to run in the battlefield. So, the Tiger 1 and the Tiger P were both World War II tanks. The Tiger 1, of course, was the most feared vehicle on the battlefield, not the Tiger Porsche, because that was created, of course, by Ferdinand Porsche. Now, the reason the Ferdinand Porsche tank didn't go into production is because they went up against Tiger 1, which was created by Henschel, and when they went up against each other, well, it turns out Porsche made their tank too heavy, too complicated, and the engine on the Tiger P just overheated and stopped working. So it turned out that the Tiger 1, which was a much lighter design on armor, and as well just a much beefier engine, did a much better job at accelerating and not breaking down, which is something that's quite important in the war. So Henschel's Tiger 1 is the tank that was brought into production. Now, it still was a pretty untrustworthy tank. The tracks like to break, and yeah, fixing 3 layers of tracks was a pain, because if a wheel broke behind the main wheels, well, then you had to take off both of the wheels just to get to that one back wheel, and yeah, it was definitely a pain to fix it. Now, the Tiger P actually only had 1 layer of tracks, so that's definitely nicer. However, it was definitely prone to breaking down, so both of these tanks were historically accurate, and it's just a fun little backstory. But, of course, let's get into some gameplay so that you guys don't get bored by my World War II history. Of course, if you like this type of content, please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. It really does help out the channel, especially if you did learn something new. Keep up with the new content coming out. But here we go. We're going to be starting off with the Tiger P. Now, this is my preferred tank. I like more heavily armored vehicles. However, just because the Tiger P weighs more and it's slower does not mean it actually has more armor than the Tiger, because the Tiger was buffed quite a bit. It has now about 160 millimeters on frontal armor, and that means that if you do turn it and use your angling correctly at an angle of about a 25-30 degree, it's about 200 millimeters thick, which is very, very impressive, where the Tiger P, you don't really need to angle at all. In fact, if you angle it, it's going to be weaker, so they're very, very different the way they are performed. Now, the only issue I have with the Tiger P is the turret. It's way easier to penetrate, not only on the sides as soon as you over-angle it or you're aiming at somebody else, but as well you got that massive cupola sticking right out on the roof. But that's really the only weakness, because frontally this tank is a beast. It's about 200 millimeters base, and that's without any angling. That means, ooh, that was a lucky snap there, but that means that, like, that ARL that's got about, I think, 198 millimeters of pen, can't pen me at all. So here we go. We are, ooh, that was a very, very bad shell. That should have easily hit that guy. But aiming at that SU-100Y, there we go. We got the Panther pulling out. Now, the Panther actually can penetrate me, and I want to be a little careful just in case the Panther does. I over-angled the take way too much there. So let's see if that Tiger, oh, the driver's dead. That kind of sucks, and my teammate is blocking me. So I'm going to back up here. Going to have to fix my driver up. That's a shame, because it's going to be 70 seconds before I'm able to get him back. Alright, so here we go. We've got the Tiger P who just really, really ripped out the damage there. Let's put on our adrenaline, because of course I don't want to die. There's a nice bounce. I'm trying to do our best here, but yeah, this is definitely tough when I'm fighting another Tiger P, because we both carry very deadly guns, but I'm going to be wiggling it. There you go. Again, you can see just bouncing shell after shell, even against this gun, which has great damage per minute. Not only does it have great DPM, oh, this Panther, I didn't think he was going to pull out, but he did, and blocked my shell once again. So this tank not only has great damage per minute, it's actually got around 2,400. It also has extremely solid penetration. So there we go. We ripped apart that enemy Tiger P. I kind of made the armor look like Swiss cheese there. But you could see against a person that doesn't really know how to penetrate the Tiger, that guy literally couldn't do anything to our tank. Now this ARL is going to struggle immensely to penetrate us. You can see not even bothering to aim at our tank, and that's because it's just so deadly. Now, this tank has great damage per minute, 2,400, and as well, with that armor, it's just a beast. You can see here, we've ripped apart this ARL completely. I know that KV-2, oh, actually, the KV-2 is carrying the other gun, and we just lost pretty much all of our HP. That kind of sucks for us. Yeah, I don't want to get hit by that SU-100Y again. I'm going to back up here, actually. We've got our team still. I just really don't want to get hit by that 100Y, so I'm going to keep an eye out for that player. Oof, we gotta back up. Yeah, not gonna play with that. Not right now. The 100Y does carry a massive gun, and, you know, the 100Y, while it isn't necessarily the strongest of tanks on the armor profile, it will one-shot me out of the battlefield. So let's pull around this side. I feel this is a much safer spot, and let's finish off the RL. Oof, no, we actually hit the outer track wheel. That kind of stinks, but you know what? We've got enough time. Let's get an actual pen there. ARL is taken out, and I want to finish off the KV2 next, and we should be able to bounce the shell. The question is, where is that SU-100Y? Because if it ends up pulling out right around this corner, we are going to be taken out. But nope, we are in the clear. So 2 shells is all we need to finish off this KV2. And there's 1 shell, and as long as we bounce this, we should be fine. Yep, there you go. Another bounce, and... oh, I have no clue how that did not penetrate that guy. But he wants to pull out, and yeah, we're going to out-reload you. I was actually very nervous there. You could hear me spamming the fire button. Now, I'm not sure where that 100Y is. In fact... I've got to be very careful, because I am a one-shot, and angle it, yes, okay, we are angled, but it did finish me off. I give that guy credit. He was a skilled player, and, yeah, our KV2 didn't do the best of jobs there at the end, but we definitely tried our best, and I think that KV2 could actually one-shot that 100Y, so... if you didn't know, our KV2 is a skilled tank destroyer. But while we're waiting for this game to end, we will go pull out the Tiger 1, which is also a super, super strong tank. Now, the reason I personally prefer the Tiger P is just because it has way more frontal armor. It's about 200 millimeters base. Now, the lower plate is weak, as you saw me there when I was shooting against that Tiger P. I could easily pen that lower plate and as well the track wheel. As I said, you don't want to angle it. Just aim dead on at your opponents, and you'll do pretty well. But if you can wiggle it correctly, I was able to bounce a lot of shells at me, and that SU-100Y obviously knew where to shoot me and was able to take me out. But the Tiger 1 is also a super, super strong vehicle, and this one has the mobility, and it's also got the turret armor. So the Tiger 1 goes, I think, 42 kilometers per hour, and it's got an excellent power-to-weight ratio. And don't get me wrong, the Tiger P isn't necessarily slow. Like, we easily got into position there, able to maneuver, but the Tiger, you'll see how much quicker it is. So here we go. We're going to be rushing into the battle. Now, I sort of think of the Tiger like a medium vehicle, but the issue now is that the Tiger got such a strong upper armor buff is that it's literally a heavy tank with mobility, and I actually don't like Dynasty because of this one thing here. When medium tanks go to the medium side, especially when you could go heavy, you know, there's always this scenario, but here you go, you can see mobility, and this is actually a good map to have the mobility on because look at the turning speed we have on the Tiger. Like, that's crazy. That's more than some medium tanks. And then when you look at the gun accuracy, now I will say, the Tiger P, as much as I'm stuttering here, the Tiger P and the Tiger carry the exact same gun. So gun-wise, accuracy, DPM, that is nothing to be disputed on the vehicles. It's just personal preference and which one does better. Now, I do think that the Tiger is a better tank just because it's a little more flexible. You've got more side armor. You actually cannot be penned with a 150mm in the side, where the Tiger P, you can. And as well, I think you might have more gun depression than this tank. But there we go. Like that Easy 8, I doubt it can even pen me from the front. So let's try and get another shell out here. So that's already 400 damage for us. All right, and let's see if we can get another shell. Ah, my teammate's still driving in front of me. Oh, that's kind of annoying. But here we go. Let's get one more shell out. And yes, there goes the Easy 8. Now, there is an SU-152, but I'm not super worried about that. We've got that amazing aiming time, and off with his head, I guess, for our teammates. Pushed way too aggressive out there. But yeah, look at that accuracy. It is crazy how accurate this gun is. Able to angle it just at the last second there so we could bounce that shell, although I did use my repair kit that I needed. So that was a downfall, which I didn't mean to do, actually, but yeah, I guess we all make mistakes sometimes. So we've got that SU-152 right there. Let's try. If this hits, I'll be very impressed. Well, you know what? It hit. So I am impressed that it even hit the guy. But I'm going to try and deal with the AMX M4 over to the side here before we go and deal with those heavies. Because the AMX, oh, of course he pulls out now. But I want to come up behind here. My team is kind of dying. They don't really know what they're doing. Ooh, we actually have the VK, and that looks like the big boy gun, which is a 120mm if I'm not mistaken. Not sure how we didn't pen that shell. This guy's actually blocking me here. Let's see if we can finish you off. Ooh, fire alarm going off in the house. Somebody is messing up their cooking. Alright, but come on, we gotta finish off this VK. It's kind of crazy that we couldn't kill the VK already. But AMX M445, there we go. Another nice tap, and we're gonna wiggle the tank because that's how you want to play it. But the armor definitely is not nearly as reliable on this tank. As you can see here, we're just not bouncing as many shells frontally as you would be in your run-of-the-mill Tiger. And, of course, because the frontal armor isn't nearly as strong, it's definitely a little bit trickier to run it. But if you know how to angle it, you know how to run it right, it does do a great job at the same time. But, like, that guy is just tearing me apart. And, in fact, it has a crazy DPM. I'm actually surprised how good its DPM is. But here we go. Again, armor on the Tiger. This is why I personally don't like it as much. It's just that the armor doesn't really stand up as strong, but at the same time, we've already done 3,000 damage here, and we're continuing to get it out. But yeah, we're going to be taken out here. I'm not really too confident in my abilities anymore, but I'm going to be doing the best I can. Let's wiggle it. Yes, we were able to survive that shell. Let's keep going. I'm going to get another shell into this guy here. Man, that KV-3 has a strong plate now. I didn't actually realize it was that strong. But there you go. You can see we were taken out in the end of the battle. So let's watch this T-25AT save the team. We're not. We tried, though. Definitely a good, valiant effort there. So let me know what you guys think. Which tank do you like better? Both of those tanks, as you can see, are strong in their own elements. The Tiger P, I feel, would have actually done better there in the end scenario, but 3,700 damage was a great effort, and we could have easily done, in fact, 5,000 if we'd just been able to keep pumping out the damage. That Tiger P, we somehow got a draw on, but again, 3,200 damage. So both of these games were excellent battles to show you the damage and everything else like that, and they're both extremely strong tanks, so it's always personal preference which one you like better. I like the stronger armor on the Tiger P, but I will say the Tiger one is definitely a sexier looking beast. I love the camouflage on this tank. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I hope you're all doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.